Welcome to or welcome back to my page. I am Professor Broke and I will be showing you all how to be a total dum-dum that is capable of capturing a Nintendo Switch game for streaming. So the most obvious thing you're going to need is a Nintendo Switch. You will also need the dock and the power adapter that came with it. You will also need two HDMI cables. For my setup, I went on Amazon and bought this cheap little generic video capture card. It has an HDMI input and an HDMI output on one side. On the other side, it has a USB 3.0, a mic, and a headphone jack. It came with this little blue cable, which is just a double-sided USB for 3.0, obviously. I also have the dongle for the MacBook because obviously Apple likes to take away ports. So this is just a piece of equipment that has HDMI, two lightning ports for whatever cable, even though there's two on both sides of the laptop. The ability to read both types of the most recent memory cards. And then two USB, just plugs right in. And of course, to go along with your dongle and your video capture card, you're gonna need a laptop. With that laptop, I suggest using the charger while doing all of these things because it does tend to drain the battery pretty heavily. Outside of that, my suggestion is to grab a power strip. This is just one that's been behind my very first television since I was a kid. And honestly, it's old, it's dirty, it's scary looking, just the way I like all my guys. So, Power Century, whatever you're doing, keep it up. If you guys still exist, if not, God rest your weary bones. So let's start from the top. We'll plug in our dinosaur here. Make sure it's turned on. Next thing we're gonna do is get the switch set up. So we're gonna take our switch. We'll take the power adapter that came with it and plug it into the AC adapter. Then we will take one of the HDMI cables. I suggest if you have two different sizes, you use the longer one. I will explain soon why. I'm gonna plug that in right there where it says HDMI out. I'm gonna close that up. So we're gonna take our power adapter for the Nintendo Switch, plug it in right there. Now you're free to go ahead and set your Switch in it and set it aside. The next thing you'll want to do is get your laptop all hooked up and ready to receive the video capture card. I always put it in the transformer because I'm sure that makes a difference on these old ones. If you have a newer MacBook, I do suggest plugging it in on the right side as it has an auxiliary port on this side. Next, let's take our dongle and we'll attach it to the laptop. Here's where it was kind of confusing for me at first, but once I talked myself through it in my head, it kind of made more sense. So I will talk you guys through this. What you're going to want to do is take the cable, the HDMI, that is from your Nintendo Switch. you're going to stick it in the video capture card. The way I remember which HDMI cable goes in which input is the switch cable is giving input to the system. We need the box to give us output. So you take your second cable, which is not yet plugged into anything, and plug it into the output. Take the opposite end of the output HDMI cable and plug it in to your laptop. Now all we have left is to give this some power. It will receive power through this USB 3.0 cable. Put it right into the dongle as well. You can tell that it now has power by the red light on this side. From this point on, it's pretty much up to you how you prefer to record and capture the video from your capture card. Me personally, I choose to use OBS and edit it in iMovie, which is maybe a little primitive, but it works for me. So what you need to do is open up OBS if that's what you have. Take your Joy-Con controllers off, and you can go ahead and push the power button if you like, or you can just use the Joy-Cons here in a second. And set it back in the cradle. Pick up your controllers, and you can typically push the start button, and you'll see that it's trying to figure out where the switch is. So that typically means that the switch is paired and ready to go, but the best way to check is to head over here to your OBS in my case and add an input for your visual. In this case, we're using the video capture card, so we're going to scroll down here to the video capture device, and I'm just going to leave it the same name as, the generic version here. When you click device, there will be a drop down menu. You're going to click USB 3.0 HD video capture. Click OK. And my switch is obviously asleep right now, so let's wake it back up. Power button or Joy-Cons. And there it is. Voila. Your Nintendo Switch on your computer. So from here, what I like to do is kind of get the screen right, and it's actually easier if you go ahead and unlock your Switch so you can see the actual parameters instead of this black outline here. Zoom it around, throw it whichever way. It's up to you. It's your creative freedom. Go ahead and click start recording or start streaming, and you're gold. You're good to go. You're ready to be famous or whatever the goal is here. This is a clip from a Pokemon Unite battle I did earlier today. As you can see, it's pretty responsive. There's not a really bad lag or anything, which reading up on these sorts of things, you will hear people complaining that they ordered their card and it said that it would come in 4K and it didn't, and the lag was so bad that they were losing online battles, but I haven't found those issues in my case. So all you can really do is jump in. I think the video capture card was less than $30 for me, and I was like, you know what, worst case scenario, I blow $30. Best case scenario, I have a lot of fun. I get to record my gameplay, share it with my friends and family, and have something I can look back on. The video capture card is actually pretty cool in the sense that it captures the music from within the game, which I will pause here in a second and let you guys hear some of the audio from this game. I spy with my little eye someone I'm supposed to Fury on. Okay. So you can kind of hear that it captured my audio as well as the music I was playing and the game music, which is pretty cool. And if you were paying attention really closely to the OBS program I had going on, you could see that I had multiple mics. So you are able to turn off certain mics if you don't want the gameplay or you don't want the music, like whatever it is. It's pretty customizable, and all you really got to do is sit down and play with it. I mean, almighty dude, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like an untrained monkey can do this. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. If I have helped you in any way, please like and subscribe so I know I'm doing something right. Thanks, guys.